Geminis, and welcome to Twin Peaks Tarot. I am finally getting round to doing some actual tarot readings for this channel. I know it's been a very long time, so I do apologise for the wait. I've been doing some sort of non-video readings on Instagram and Facebook, yeah, it's not as fun as doing a full video, is it? It's not as fun as having it live. But yeah, life got a bit crazy there for a little while, so I just didn't have any time to do videos. I just had to sort of cut some corners and take some photos. But things are starting to settle down a bit again now. Hopefully for you guys too. Oh, I've already got a card throwing itself out for you, Gemini. Ooh, interesting. The writer, Mark Frost. That's a good card to start with. Oops, just straighten you out. So yes, give me some signs. Ooh, they're all jumping out for you today. Queen of Wands, Annie. Annie, are you okay? Yeah, keep giving me some signs for Gemini, please. Cards. Got some pretty cool actors who are Geminis, so this one's for you. Brent Briscoe, Riley Lynch, Zoe McLean, Dana Ashbrook, Bobby, Johnny Jewell from the Chromatics. Warren Frost's birthday was the 5th of June, so he was a Gemini. Father, of course, to Mark Frost, and who played Doc Hayward so wonderfully. Rest in peace. Michael Cera. Jürgen Prochnow. I think that's how you say it. Jürgen Prochnow. Sorry if I say it wrong. Pamela Gidley, bless her as well. Rest in peace. Teresa Banks. Jim Belushi. Ian Buchanan, who played Dick Tremaine. Jan Darcy, who played Sylvia Horn. And Candy Clark, who played Doris Truman. Robert Forster's Frank Truman's wife. It's a very long way of saying that, wasn't it? She's great, wasn't she? She wasn't on screen for long, but no one can forget Doris and her mould, black mould, bless her. So a big thing about mothers in Twin Peaks, isn't there? A lot of the mothers in Twin Peaks are tortured souls. They've all had terrible things happen to them. Lots of mothers losing their children, and the trauma that they go through for the rest of their lives. I think people deal with it in different ways. If you think of Sarah, she became an alcoholic, chain smoking, depressive, and there's Doris, whose son died. I think it was suicide after serving for his country and PTSD, and she was obviously messed up by that, which, you know, everybody would be. Anybody who loses a child is going to get messed up. That's just society. And then we had to see that for ourselves in the hit and run scene. Lisa Coronado in that absolutely tragically awful scene. And you think, then, would the power of Carl Rodd and his amazing ability to make people feel okay, would that have saved her soul? Hit and run mom's soul? I don't know, could anybody really get over that? I don't think so. It's horrific to see a child die like that. So yes, that hit and run mom may end up very similar to Sarah or Doris, or anyone else who's lost a child in Twin Peaks, not just in Twin Peaks, but in the world. So, anyway, waffle. The writer, Mr. Mark Frost. Oops, sorry, it's probably very blurry. Can't get my hand out. Yeah, the writer. So, when I think of the writer, because obviously this isn't a tarot card that usually turns up in a tarot deck, but I think the writer is, well, the writer can write about the past and the future. But really, the writer doesn't deal with the present quite so much. That would be more the role of the director, in my opinion. So I feel like this is you, Gemini, either considering your future quite deeply and putting it down on paper and planning ahead, or considering your past, and perhaps a bit of both. Perhaps you're learning from your past and now presenting your future to yourself, taking lessons that you've learned and moving forward. So putting plans into action, thinking ahead, and writing your own story. That's what you've got on your plate right now. It's a good way to be. Yeah, it's you do kind of have to think about the present, but you do have to have plans as well, and you do have to think about the things that you've done in your past and how they have shaped you, and what decisions you should make. What would you have changed if you could do things differently? So, and how will that make your future brighter? What have you learned, and what can you change? The Queen of Wands represents a fire sign, so this could be a woman who's an Aries or a Leo or maybe a Sagittarius in your life. She sits here very. This could be a woman who's quite intuitive. She's got a lot of spirituality. She's also maybe quite religious. She's holding a cross here, and we know that Annie Blackburn was a nun before she came to Twin Peaks. So, I mean, she might have had a bit of a lapse of faith or lost her faith a little bit, but she was always spiritual. She was always connected. She trusted her intuition, and she's very wise. I think this is very confident person. This is somebody who's, and it's different because Annie was kind of shy and sweet and naive and a bit odd. But that's why I personally loved her, and I thought she was perfect for Coop. And yes, she shared the same sort of intuition and understanding of the world as Cooper did. And he had a big, he basically lived his life via intuition. He did all his detective work with intuition, with gut feeling, with, sussing people out from throwing rocks at bottles, and his ever curious mind and need to help people. And I think this is what you want to do. You want to help people. And I think you will have someone in your life that has shown you how to do that. This person who's quite intuitive as well has shown you the way. This very fiery sign. She is quite sweet and naive as well. She's had her past to deal with. She's had a lot of trauma in her past that she's had to deal with too. And I think that probably made you a bit closer together, if anything. So take advice from this person. I think she'll probably be around your age. Don't see her as an older lady, could be. And it could be a male, but with a sort of feminine energy. But the fire sign, quite likely. And yeah, someone who gets you, really gets you. And Justice. justice will be delivered. I've lost my vocabulary tonight. Justice, yes. I mean, this is the justice, and it could be a Libra. This card actually represents Libra, so it could be a Libra in your life if you know anyone who's quite orderly or perhaps authoritarian. Someone, they don't have to be in the police force or anything like that, but somebody with a bit of authoritarianism about them, someone that you would respect, to give you good advice, a sort of father figure, someone who's always got your back, will defend you to the ends of the earth. So take solace in that. I think that somebody out there, like a teacher or a very wise person, is there who's always got your back. And we'll get some more clarification about these cards, I think. So give me some more information for these cards for Gemini, please. Spirits of the Black and White Lodges. More messages for Gemini, please. It'd be good to have someone like Harry Truman as a friend, wouldn't it? I mean, his relationship with Cooper was just the best. From straight on, the very beginning, the moment they met, they were just meant to be a great bromance. And if you've got a friend like that in your life, keep them close. More messages for Gemini, please. Spirits. You have a lot of good friends, actually, Gemini. You've got a lot of people around you who care for you very much. And they have good advice for you. I sense that the people in your life now are the ones that are going to be with you for a very long time. Okay. Emery Pattis. Up to no good in this. Whoops, it is. See, what else have you got to show me, Gemini? More cards. Oops, there we go. Oh, again, this was in a reading for Aries as well. It's about the choice, the choices you have to make. One more message, please, for Gemini, please, spirits. Okay, the Hanged Man, right. Okay, so we have the Two of Pentacles here. The Two of, or poker chips, if you prefer. This is what they are in this deck. And we have Emery Pattis, sleazy Emery Pattis, in the one-eyed jacks, in his lovely little robe there. He represents balance. You've got to weigh up the pros and cons of two different situations, I think. It's not always an easy decision to make. This kinky old soul with his hands tied and his strange fetish for having ice, I presume, poured over him. And well, someone who was, which, yeah, you know, hey, I'm not going to make fun of anyone's kinks, hey, we've all got them. But yeah, so yeah, but you have to weigh up two sides of a situation, I think. And the next card is, yeah, also represents that, really, is that you've got a lot of options ahead and a lot of choices you could make. But I think you need to go with your intuition. You need to be a bit grounded. You need to, perhaps you can take some advice from this fire sign, this queen in your life, and you choose the right path, the one that's really going to make the difference. I think like Cooper had a path, and he kind of made himself copies of himself in the end, didn't he? With so that he could have everything, so that he could have the family life, be married to Janie and have a son and live that perfect suburban life. But he couldn't really make that decision. He had to make a doppelganger of sorts, a tulpa, to live that, because he couldn't do that. He had to basically follow the path that he knew he had to, which was to find or save Laura. And it's not just Laura; it's more than Laura now. It's a much bigger entity than that. It's fighting evil, getting rid of the darkness. And what could be more important than that? It's more than just one human. It's helping the planet, I think. So yeah, it's not an easy decision to make, but I think you'll be going for this one. Find Judy. Find Judy and make sure that the world is in balance, because you can't have light without darkness. There is no darkness without light. There's no good without evil. It's all a game of chess at the end of the day. One cannot exist without the other. It is all just a balancing act. As our Emery is showing here, I think you do have to have a bit of both in your life, but follow your path. Jacoby here. Dr. Jacoby is the Hanged Man. This actually isn't as bad a card as it seems. It's kind of like not having any regrets, I think, really. It's just like, you know perhaps that you messed up, but you have to forgive yourself. Or it's not even that you messed up, I don't think. It's perhaps you'd have done things differently, but it's easy to say in hindsight. This is it's a fresh start in a sense. It's kind of like, well, yeah, I'm admitting that I went wrong here, and I'm self-punishing, really, and you don't need to do that. But it's kind of, yeah, it's a admittance of defeat in a sense, and you're giving in to that, admitting that you'd misjudged, I think. But it's all good. You are the writer of your future, and there's no need to dwell on your past. You can only learn from it. So this is all in all a nice reading. Let's see what the cats have to tell us. I love these cat cards because I'm a crazy cat lady who doesn't have a cat. So I find my joy in the cat tarot cards. And that's a quick one today. We have lots of those. Ooh, the Chariot. Look at that. Cat in a chariot pulled by stupid dogs. I love dogs too, really. I'm only messing. Yeah. So the Chariot card would mean getting away, basically. Wanting to get away from this situation, having a break, going away to think about things. If you're like James, you'd be getting on your bike and going, brooding a bit and thinking about things. And I think you probably do need to take some time out, just to really think about your future plans and really what you want to do. I think that's a sensible idea. And the last card is from the Soul's Journey deck here. And these are really nice. I like these because they all have mandalas on them. I'm a big fan of mandalas. They're very pretty. And these have lovely messages. Always very positive messages. So please give me a message for Gemini, please, cards. Let's see. Message for Gemini, please, Spirit. Mandalas are kind of Buddhist symbology or Hindu symbology. Oh, there we go. Adversity. Adversity. That's pretty. And so the card says, I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. Couldn't be a bit more true than that, really, could it? To quote the OA, to exist is to survive unfair choices. And I think you probably have had a lot of those lately. But I think you do know what the right path is to take, and it's not always the easy one, and it's perhaps not the one which is the most fun or what you want to be doing right now. But that looks like a lighthouse. But you are the light. It does look like a lighthouse, doesn't it? So yeah, I think you know that you have to light the way for others, and so that's what really matters. I think you've got a big job to do. You're a teacher and a guide. You have to light people's way. So as much as it would be lovely to just take the easy road and the easy route, I don't think you can do that, and you know that as well. So there we go. Well, thank you very much indeed, Geminis, for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit it up with a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope to be back next week, fingers crossed, but I can't promise anything because I just don't know when I'll have time. Whether I'll have time to do these regularly and get them edited and all that, but fingers crossed I will. And yeah, this reading is for whenever you watch this video. I'm not going to put a specific date on it. Just whenever you watch it is the right time for you. And so yes, hopefully I'll see you very soon, Gemini. Thank you again for watching. Good night.